Welcome to Mindflow Radio.
Mindflow Radio.
She's Jaylyn.
And he's Monty.
So buckle your seatbelts and get ready to take a trip towards reality.
Wee-hoo! Happy New Year.
All right, here we are. 2025.
I am pretty happy about that.
Okay. Yeah, me too. Is it the age of Aquarius?
I don't know.
Or is it the beginning?
I don't know, but it's the future. The future is here now.
If there even is anything as such as the future, I guess.
Well, it's here now.
Okay.
Or that's
There
my
you go.
opinion.
I like that.
It's 2025 was, and I should have maybe checked my facts, but I remember back when I was in Kundalini Yoga teacher training,
Yeah.
Yogi Bhajan was talking about 2025 is when we clearly step into the Aquarian Age.
That's interesting.
And here we are. So back...
What are we going to do with it is the question.
Yeah. Back in 2012, was it? No, it was 2011 when I started the Kundalini Yoga teacher training, mainly because I liked the music, but I heard a lecture about the Aquarian Age by Yogi Bhajan, and I was like, oh my God, I got to get ready. Because he was saying that November 11th, 2011 was the midpoint of the transition. And if I remember right, 2025 was the beginning of the new epoch.
The new era.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting because if in fact we are like destined to evolve, you know, perhaps there is some kind of timeline on that. And if we can align our minds with what the universe wants from us, perhaps everything will get easier.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like evolution is, of course, a timeline that the universe knows and we don't. And I feel like as our brains evolve and we begin to understand more and more each day, each year I think our brains are becoming more functional, and we have the ability to consciously choose our reality in some ways.
Well, yeah. I mean, but that's always probably, well, not always, but that's been the case.
I don't know. I
mean, we conjure the future, right?
Maybe,
both
but
individually and collectively.
Yeah, but in yoga, there's these big eras, which many different yogis and schools of yoga argue about.
Yeah.
And are we in the Kali Yuga or are we in the Satya Yuga?
Yeah.
And the point is that there's basically a circle. And at the top is the light and at the bottom is the dark. And when the whole collective is moving around this circle of time, the light time is when we're close to creator, source, universe, energy.
Yeah.
We're one with it. It's just easier to connect with each other, with this collective energy.
Yeah.
And then as that peak ends, then we slowly, over thousands of years, descend into darkness.
Yeah.
And it's just a cycle. It's not you're bad because you're going into the darkness. It's just a cycle.
Yeah.
And where we're at in it is up for debate by many different historical people and yogis.
I've heard Rudolf Steiner talk about that too.
Right.
Like we used to be more enlightened, and then we like faded into the dark ages.
Right.
And now we're coming out of it.
Right. Right.
And now the question is, what do we do with it?
Right.
And how do we, what are some things we can individually work on to align our minds with the current hopefully evolving universe or our evolving environment? Or how can we evolve individually? How can we be a part of the process of bringing more light, of getting more connected with the light?
And I feel that conscious evolution, also up for debate, is, in my opinion, not debatable because we literally can rewire our brains. And that is conscious evolution.
Oh, right.
The fact that we can notice our trauma, we can we can strengthen our metacognition to the point where we can say, "Oh, I'm getting triggered. I'm going to go pause and breathe and come back to center."
Right.
That is conscious evolution.
Yeah. And just the idea of, I want to rewire my brain.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know how to do it.
Yeah.
I'll do this practice and this practice and this practice. And then boom. And then I create new neural connections in my brain. And I've, in fact, consciously rewired my own.
That is so beautiful, amazing.
Brain.
And that's what makes me excited to be alive right now.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And, as far as the nuts and bolts of it go, what beliefs can we work on to consciously evolve, to consciously rewire our brains? And I believe one thing we can work on is just trying to be compassionate to everyone. I mean, because that is something new in our culture, right? It's like, no, we're compassionate to people in our tribe and to people in our country, but we hate those people over there and we hate those people over there, and that's like the status quo, right?
Yeah,
that has been the status quo, and we needed it as a status quo to survive, 10,000 generations ago. But now it's like, why don't we just try it out and try and be compassionate towards everybody? I mean, and understand. I mean, the good news, we all have that spark of the divine within us, but we're all confused on the other hand. Let's cut people slack. Let's see people for who they are. That's called connecting with reality. If it is true that we all have the spark of the divine within us, of course we're going to be compassionate to everybody. If we can really believe that.
Yeah, well, I believe to even seed that belief, we have to begin with compassion for ourselves.
Well, yeah.
And that, in my opinion, means that we have to redefine what does selfish mean. Because we were on a walk earlier today, and I said, my main goal in life is to be as vital and healthy as possible. And I know that's a selfish goal. But is it?
No.
It is selfish in the sense that I am going to look at my life and go, is this going to make me healthy, or is this going to undermine my vitality?
Well, and that's it. I mean, another way of looking at it is you just want to raise your vibration.
Yeah.
Essentially, you want to become more vital.
I want to grow old gracefully.
And then the more vital you can become, the more you're going to share that vibration with the rest of humanity.
Right.
So working on
selfish?
No. Well, it is, but it isn't.
Yeah.
Selfishness that way is different. I mean, if you're just taking care of yourself, obviously if you're going to steal money from people in a selfish way, selfishness is bad. And that.
Well, yeah, I feel that the way that we define the kind of the cultural norm of what selfish means generally is that we put ourselves first no matter who it hurts. And in the process of judging on who is selfish and who is not, it generally has to do with, if I think that you need to change so my life can be okay, that's unhealthy selfishness. And that's kind of everybody gets lumped into that when everybody of course is too big of a word, but when somebody says I'm going to take care of myself and I'm going to focus on self-care, sometimes other people can call that selfish.
Well, sure. I mean, but other people can they can be jealous and just call people lots of names,
Sure.
not just selfish. There's lots of names out there for us to like put other people down. But in reality, if we are working on our own vibration, I mean, we are vibrational beings, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe in modern physics, and I believe the foundation of all matter is vibration. So, of course, we have vibration in us and in our minds, and through our beliefs and through our level of awareness, we create some kind of vibration that we send out to the collective. I think the collective.
Yeah.
And we're not, if we're, by sitting there and meditating, you're not being selfish.
Well,
I mean,
I guess that's what I'm offering, is to redefine selfishness, because it is, if you look at it, I guess it's not redefine selfishness, but recategorize it. Because if you're taking time to come back to center, or if I'm taking time to come back to center, I step away from whatever I'm doing and say, hey, I got to take care of myself. I got to come back to center. I'll see you in 20 minutes. That is selfish.
No, it's not.
In a healthy way.
But selfish has like negative connotations.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I'd not negative.
I'd like to shift that, is what I'm saying. But okay, enough of that. We've established that Jay would like to reestablish a healthy connotation for the word selfish. But really, I wanted to share something else with you all out there, because in my deep dive of self-care and desiring to heal and consciously evolve, I have dove even deeper into Qigong land and learning more and more, and I absolutely love it. And one thing that I learned that I'm really feeling like I need to share with people is something called rising Qi syndrome. And when you hear that, besides the word syndrome, it sounds good. Like, ooh, rising Qi. I like that. I want some of that, But what it really means is that if you build Qi during Qigong or yoga, if you think about it, yoga and Qigong are very, very similar. And if you build your inner energy and your inner vitality and then go ruminate about things that you're upset about, it's harmful. And what I understand now is that when we build Qi with mindful movements such as Qigong, Tai Chi, yoga, and then lose our mindfulness and become ruminative and overanalyzing things, that the Qi that we just built goes to the brain. And it can cause headaches, dizziness, and a loss of mental balance and control. And I don't know if you've ever experienced that, where you meditate with a group of people and then later have a headache and you don't know why. I don't know who out there has experienced this, but I know I've experienced it several times and never understood it. And now I get it. And the idea is that if we can refine our ability to notice and understand the importance of where we put our attention, then we can avoid this rising Qi. How do we do that? When you notice the pressure in your head building, bring it back to the body. Breathe. Come back to the present moment. Be. Try to feel rather than think. And I think that our whole experience would shift if we understood this simple reality of energy and the mind and how they need to be in balance.
Yeah, well, overthinking certainly is an epidemic in this culture.
Right?
And it does drive people crazy, and it makes people
unhappy, unhealthy.
Unhappy, unhealthy. It also makes people easy targets for being manipulated because we don't know what's going on. We're thinking too much. We're ruminating. We're thinking, and we're agitated, and then it's easy for us at that point to be convinced that the reason we're agitated is because of those people over there, whoever they are. Oh, it's because of the billionaires that I'm agitated. It's like, well, no, not really. It's because you're thinking too much.
Right.
You're thinking constantly.
Right.
And, let's rewind 5,000 generations. Our ancestors, were not thinking so much. Up until like the last 50 years, we had been much more present and just in the moment and aware and walking through the woods and looking for berries and
50 years
hunting. 50 years ago, there was people spent less time on screens.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Now it's like over the top with these handheld, phones, if you want to call them phones, handheld mini computers.
I call them cameras.
Yeah, right. Where's my phone? Where's my camera? Where's my mini computer? And they're great.
Yeah.
They can be great tools. But they can also wreck your life.
Yeah.
If you spend too much time on it because you're ingesting way too much information overload, and then how's your mind react? It gets agitated, and then it needs a break, so you get depressed.
Or the thing that seems to be happening a lot is we get agitated and then look outside of ourselves for what's agitating me.
Right, because our mini computer screens are telling us it's their fault we're agitated.
Yeah,
it's like you look at this screen and the messaging is you're being victimized, you're doomed. That's another one. That's another big one. I don't believe it.
I don't know if that's
it certainly is. A bunch of people believe we're
because
doomed.
I have personalized my stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't get that stuff.
Yeah. Well,
I get kitty videos and, I get the things that make me giggle and feel good, quote unquote, but it doesn't matter. I still get that same feeling of too much screen time is too much screen time.
Oh, it is, for sure.
It doesn't matter if your feed is telling you to dislike a certain group of people or it's telling you, look at all these cute cats. It doesn't matter.
Well, it kind of does matter because it can be worse if your feed is full of like hatred and anger. And if you're just so agitated and your mind is so cloudy that you just naturally believe it, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
And too many cat videos are a problem too, but I would say a less severe.
Yeah, but it is still, I think because I have, ever since I can remember, I've avoided anything scary because life is scary enough. I don't need quote unquote entertainment that purposefully puts me in an adrenaline response. Like that is, I don't like roller coasters. I'm not going to jump out of a plane. I don't need that stuff. I've got plenty of adrenaline going through me from my own experiences.
Sure.
So I've procure. I don't know what the right word is. You pick things and then they give you more.
You're talking about like a Facebook or YouTube.
Yeah. All of the social media things will give you more of what you look at and what you like. And so I feel like because of my own self-care, I've really checked out of a lot of the encouraged outlets of news and stuff. But still, if I look at my screen for more than 15 minutes, I'm stunned.
Well, yeah, it stuns the mind. Like I said, it makes us open to be easily manipulated and controlled. And if I mean, some people maybe are okay with that. They like it. I don't know. But yeah, and certainly there's different like levels of mental junk food.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you're saying your mental junk food is not that terrible, you know, looking
Well, it
at
is,
cat
though.
videos. Well,
I mean,
it's not as bad.
It's not going to scare me
Well,
because
it's not going to promote that you like kill somebody
like
or something like that.
Right.
It's not going there. But that's what a lot of it does for a lot of people. And
yeah.
I mean, we need to seriously look at our mental diet and take that into consideration when it comes to our overall health, and talk about our vibration. If I spend way too much time on you know, the computer, then it just lowers my vibration, and I know it, and I feel it. And personally, what I've been doing recently is I'll take every other day off of social media, and every other day off of regular media as well, for sure.
How's that going?
I love it. You know, it helps me. It helps put things into perspective. And now I notice on my days on, I'm less inclined to just like want to jump on right in the morning. I mean, I obviously have my morning practice first, and I've been doing this for years now, probably 9 years. Every morning I'll wake up. First thing I'll do is Tai Chi, you know, and then I have some meditation, a little like chanting practices and whatever, but I start out the morning that way. And actually the first thing I try and do in the morning is even when I'm just still lying in bed, is start saying thank you in my mind. That's my first practice, to take charge of my mental internal dialogue. That's the thing. That's what we need to do. If we want to feel empowered, guess where that begins? It begins in our own minds. It's being in charge of your own internal dialogue and being able to steer your dialogue when you think it's unproductive.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I'm beating up myself. Oh, that's unproductive. I'm going to steer.
Or I'm mad at my partner or my kid or my parents or
I'm mad at half the country.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a more of an extreme and kind of more obvious, but
it's
I feel like this
common.
is in our homes, you know, and that's where I kind of wanted
it's in
to
our
go.
own minds.
Is it doesn't matter if you're watching comedies or horror movies. There's a point where we're just so stunned that we look up and this is like a scientific fact. We look outside of us to try to understand why we feel strange inside.
Yeah, which if you look at your phone, you'll figure it out.
Right.
You know, that
if
is
you remember you were looking at your phone.
Yeah,
it's
right.
kind of it's very drug-like.
Oh, it is a drug. It is a drug. We gotta realize that.
And it doesn't have to be a phone. It can be a 6-foot screen, which seems to be all the rave now. So it's about moderation. It's about and going back to the rising chi is about refinement. It's about metacognition. It's about caring about our mind and caring about the possibility of conscious evolution.
Well, that's it. It's about honoring your mind. Yeah. Ultimately, it's the mind is worth honoring, I believe, because our minds are actually vastly more powerful than we understand.
Right. Yeah.
That's the reality in which we're living, and now with this new, time frame for humanity, perhaps the more we'll be able to manifest positive things more effortlessly. If the universe is working with us, if it's part of our evolution, okay, it's time for humanity to evolve. So the universe is like, okay, I'm going to support people who are trying to manifest very positive things or positive things for their culture, you know, and it's possible that that's what we're coming up to right now. And it helps motivate me because I actually want to tap into the power of my mind more effectively.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to manifest some really amazing things.
Cool.
Yeah. And as a tribe, we're just even that much more powerful at manifesting positive things. And I got a feeling the people that are working on manifesting positive things are going to be gathering together, networking somehow or another, maybe even subconsciously, the collective consciousness. And the people who are trying to manifest or negative things, such as war, or hatred, whatever, I think they're going to be more and more disempowered by the universe.
Yeah, because it's confusing in the first place.
Well, it's confusing. It doesn't lead to happiness. It leads to bad karma. It leads to, suffering, certainly.
I'm not thinking clearly because you can't see the whole picture.
Yeah, I hate it when I'm at that place of not thinking clearly. And I know I did it to myself. After like staring at the phone for like 40 minutes or something. And I get up.
That feeling is so icky.
And the body is just like, it is an icky feeling. You're just kind of, you're sort of, your body's kind of moving on its own and your mind is not really involved. And you like, hit a corner of a table with your hand or whatever.
Or I run into the door jams.
Yeah, right. Because we're like, talk about zombies. I mean, why do we think, why are zombies so popular these days in the media? It's because we are in some way, at some moments, we turn ourselves into zombies.
Yeah.
And deep down, we probably all realize that. Yeah. So the whole zombie theme like resonates with us, but we have to realize that we can work against that for ourselves. And I don't want to be a zombie, and I have been a zombie, at times, certainly.
I mean, you have to kind of experience things to know you don't want to do them and work against it.
Well, and you have to understand that you can work against it.
Right.
Right? Instead of like, I'm a zombie. What's the solution? I need drugs. I need money. I need power. And then I won't be a zombie anymore.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the thing. And it's, that's a common kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm. So I want to pause there and come back to some tools and tips for not being zombies. But for now, we're going to share a song with you. And it is very, very simple. The words are just be. I am here now. We are here now. So I'm sure you can enjoy and get into the cadence and possibly sing along with me and let yourself just be here at Mindflow Radio for a few minutes.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
Alrighty. We will talk more in a little bit. Just be. Just be. I am here now.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the music.
Yeah. It's so simple and yet elegant. My favorite combination.
Yeah, just be. Yeah, so I was thinking it might be good to talk about techniques we can use to help improve our mental vibration.
Yeah.
And one of those techniques that I've been working on, it's called nuanced thinking. Or continuum thinking, for that matter. And the idea is everything in our culture, one thing that makes us vulnerable to being manipulated, besides being like a zombie, well, and this is a very zombie-like thing, it's like black and white thinking. It's called black and white, all or nothing thinking. And so something is true or not true, period. That's all there is. Billionaires, bad. Period. For example, it's called all or nothing thinking. But nuanced thinking is much more. It's much more accurate. Number one, if we want to align our minds with truth, which has some benefits or a lot of benefits, I think, then we need to develop more of a nuanced kind of thinking. And let's take the example of billionaires. Okay. All billionaires are bad. No. The nuanced way of seeing that is that, well, some are probably bad. Some are probably better than others. Some are good, perhaps. I mean, let's look at things for what it is and not fall into that trap of black and white thinking, because traditionally governments or entities that want to control us support the idea of black and white thinking, because it makes it keeps people out of touch with what is, and makes people much more easy to manipulate. It makes people feel, it's much easier to make people feel like victims if they engage in all or nothing thinking.
Well, all or nothing thinking also just happens, or black and white thinking. Is that the same thing?
No, same thing,
all or
yeah.
nothing. Okay, because I think it's just a cultural norm, really.
Well, it is. But it's something we need to get beyond.
Right. We need to be able to, it goes back to the idea of metacognition. We need to be able to see these things and notice that we're doing them.
Yeah, right. And we just to be able to counter them. I mean, and then we're going to, like I said, we're going to align our minds more with what is real. And once we're able to do that, I think that helps align our minds more with reality, obviously, or the universe, or the infinite intelligence. And the more we can align our minds with the infinite intelligence, as I mentioned earlier, the more powerful I think we become. Because I think at that point, the universe supports us. And in the Tao Te Ching, it says you get in harmony with the Great Mother, or the Tao, and the Great Mother takes care of you. It's an example of how if we can align our minds with the infinite intelligence, how it works out, that we're actually able to tap into our power a bit more,
Yeah.
or a lot more.
Yeah.
But nuanced thinking is a good way of doing that, and just notice when your mind is going into that black and white thinking, and it's such a in psychology it's called a thinking error. Yeah, in cognitive based psychology, it's all or nothing thinking is considered an error, but it's rampant.
Mm-hmm.
I hear it.
It's very normal.
Oh, it is very normal.
Or normalized.
Yeah, people don't notice it, but in my mind, I'm always like, even like super smart people are like, oh, that's black and white thinking. Oh, that's black and white thinking. Oh, that's black and white thinking.
I've caught you doing black and white thinking before too.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and the more agitated we get, the more we tend to fall into that.
Yeah.
Because it like simplifies things.
And it's an old pattern.
On some level, we like simplicity, and simplicity is beautiful, but not when it's not in line with reality.
Right.
Everything is nuanced. It's very subtle and beautiful, and there's many variables when it comes to everything.
And I feel in our culture, in our modern culture right now in 2025, or at least in 2024, what was true and hopefully is changing is we end up getting categorized by numbers and labels. And this is very all or nothing thinking, you know, and these medical formulas and these education formulas and children being treated like numbers and patients being treated like numbers, and we lose the nuance. We don't, there's this is the rule and you went over this rule and therefore this is your consequence. And there's no nuance. There's no, oh, you had to go back to your locker because you needed your inhaler or whatever. I'm just totally making things up at this point. But there's so many ways that we have been reduced to labels, categories, and numbers, and we're humans, and we are nuanced. We wanted to be treated like humans, and yet then we treat other people in that same way of black and white thinking. So seeing the nuances, seeing our own desire to categorize, label, and I can't think of the next word I was going to say, but the more that we can come into metacognition and notice, oh, I'm labeling that person. Do I really know? Do I really know if they're what I think they are?
Yeah, or I'm labeling myself.
Yeah.
I'm bad.
Oh, yeah, I've done that.
I made a bad decision. I'm bad. It's like, whoa, are you sure about that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, not all bad. Life is a bit more. Maybe you made a bad decision, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you made a mistake, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? We all make mistakes.
Yeah.
Are you able to learn from your mistake? That's really the key. And if you can learn from your mistake, then you can grow.
Mm-hmm.
So mistakes are actually opportunities to grow.
Yeah. And
which is a big deal.
That reminds me of what is your forgiveness protocol?
Well, self-forgiveness protocol.
Go for it.
Step 1. Okay, I say this to myself. I'm my main guinea pig when it comes to all this stuff. So I've experimented on myself. But when I make a mistake, I've noticed that I have the tendency to beat myself up. I'll be like, how could you have made that mistake? And blah, 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 and blah, blah, and just, beating myself up internally, the internal dialogue. So I'll notice that and I'll be like, oh, I'm beating myself up because I made the mistake. And then I'll go into the self-forgiveness protocol. And this is something I say in my mind or out loud. There's 5 steps. First step, I say, humans make mistakes. Step number 2, I'm a human. Step number 3, I'm going to do everything I can to learn from this mistake. So this is an opportunity for me to grow. Step number 4, I forgive myself. Step number 5, I go into deep, slow breathing for as long as possible as a method of introspection. So I can really take a look at what I did, deep introspection or penance. Like, oh, I messed up really bad. I'm going to do this deep breathing for like an hour or all day or whatever it takes, just as a method of, honoring the fact that I really made this huge mistake and I want to learn from it.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is, if I'm able to learn from the mistake, then I level up a little bit, because I'm not going to make that mistake again. I just leveled up, boom. And that opens up the door for a whole new level of mistake that I'm bound to make. But if I can learn from that mistake, I level up again, boom.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So that's actually one of the ways we grow, is through making mistakes and learning from them. But I mean, typically what we do is we make a mistake, I beat myself up, blah, 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 blah. And then I just feel bad. My self-esteem is lowered.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like really likely I'm going to make the mistake again and again and again and again. I mean, people can make the same mistake over and over and over and over if they don't realize that mistakes are actually opportunities.
Yeah.
And that we're all humans and we all make mistakes.
And that's a major growth mindset.
Yeah. Heck yeah. And then you can use that when it comes to other people too. Oh, they made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, they're a human. Yeah, humans make mistakes. Maybe they can learn from this mistake. Maybe I can help them learn from this mistake or something, So, I mean, typically I just apply it to myself.
Yeah.
But it can be applied for others as well, because let's face it, let's cut people slack. Let's cut ourselves slack.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're going to make mistakes. It's part of the human condition.
And when we're busy judging, we make more mistakes, and life is even less fun.
Well, and I would argue that judging people or judging myself is a mistake in itself. That I can learn to overcome. I can learn not to judge people. People are going to be doing terrible things. It doesn't mean I have to judge them, though. I like I said earlier, I think we all have the spark of the divine within us, and we're all confused to a certain degree. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's another continuum. How confused are you? If you're not confused at all, congratulations, you're enlightened or awakened. Whatever you want to call yourself, enlightened or awakened. I'm not there, But we're all on this this continuum of how confused we are. And I fall into deep confusion sometimes, but other times I try and be in that place of just awareness, and I have more clarity. Mm-hmm. But you can know where, just, you can think about that, how all of us, and the people who do the most terrible things, they're just very confused. Mm-hmm. Okay, that doesn't mean they're very confused and they're creating a lot of bad karma for themselves.
And hurting people around them.
Yeah. Well, when you hurt people, guess what? You create bad karma. Mm-hmm. And so they have to deal with that individually. Whatever they're doing, they have to deal with it. Just like whatever I'm doing, I have to deal with my karma, both good and bad. Mm-hmm. Just like all of us, I believe. And that kind of boils down to the seeing the perfection in everything, which is like highly controversial. And so I'm going to reframe that. I know that my life is perfect, that I always get what I deserve. Mm. That's just the way it is. The universe makes sure that, that's the way it goes for me. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. And I also realize that 100 years goes by like a flash of lightning. I'm actually a spiritual being having a temporary human experience. I believe it's high on the truth continuum.
Mm-hmm. So I'd like to share a little tip and kind of blend it in with what you were sharing, especially with the self-forgiveness protocol, and back to this idea of rising chi. And there's so many of us that are working on being better people. We're working on seeing these nuances. We're working on meditating and becoming more present and more mindful. And if you're listening to this show, there's a really good chance that you're really trying hard to be your best self. And so using the self-forgiveness protocol, I have found is really helpful. You know, I'll do something really stupid or be mean or judge somebody, or, you know, I'm the meanest to my family. And I know that's true for most people, but I'll realize that I did it. And then I'll do the self-forgiveness protocol for myself. But I want to put it in the rising chi context and say that, you know, your old patterns bubbled up, got triggered by something someone said, a post you saw, some news you heard, and you start to get upset and start to feel that pressure in your head. If you can remember, if you can possibly remember that the pressure in your head might be the chi going to your brain and it needs to be in your body, then using that self-forgiveness protocol. Okay, I made a mistake. I'm in my head too much. I'm analyzing too much. I'm thinking too much. I'm a human, you know, humans make mistakes. And I forgive myself that I did this. You know, I forgive myself. I feel the pressure in my head building, and now I'm going to bring it back to my body. Now I'm going to notice my breath. Now I'm going to feel the back bottom of my lungs and expand my lungs as I inhale and exhale, and letting myself come to center and finding that presence. I'm curious how much that will help us as a culture, even if we just start with you out there listening and us here sharing. If we all just took this month to notice when we start to feel a little extra pressure in our head and come back to the body, come back to center, come back to the breath, how much better will we feel in a month? This is, in my opinion, could be a really great experiment.
Yeah, that sounds like a very good idea.
Yeah. And then the other thing that I wanted to share with you that I got from Dr. Joe Dispenza is the idea that we only know 1% of reality. That is impossible for humans to know all there is to know. There's just no way. We don't even have the perceptive abilities to know everything that's happening. We're definitely not the universe and the creator source, so we don't know the plan. We're here to experience our lessons and our karmas, and we're here to evolve and help grow and help each other and find connection. So if we can just remember, oh, I actually don't know.
Yeah, and you're saying like let go of the arrogance,
or even the desire to know, you know,
but
and
that
that's
feeling that we do know, though, that's arrogant.
Right. Oh, sure. But I think this idea that we think we know what reality is.
Yeah.
And if we take time to go, there's no way I know all of reality.
Yeah.
It just adds this humility, and it adds curiosity. Because instead of needing to know, we just kind of back up and allow ourselves to see a wider view, and allow ourselves to sense and come back to the present moment and just be.
Yeah.
Because the more present we are, the more opportunity that we might get a glimpse of more reality that's available to us. So those are my two shares for how we can increase our metacognition, increase our feeling of centeredness and inner stability, and also be more curious and intrigued with what's going on around us.
Right. Well, and just feel more empowered over our own internal process.
Yeah.
You know, and that's humble.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big problem in our cultures. A lot of people are very, very arrogant.
Well,
I believe they
there's
think
also
they know
a lot
more.
of people who are very beating up, self-critical. So
right. That's true too.
It's, I've been on the self-critical side of life forever, and coming from a church background, you're supposed to be humble and meek, and it's a really hard place to come from, and then toggle the other side of arrogance, and you just step into your power, and all of a sudden, yeah, I know, and then pop, the universe pops you down, and it's like, oh wait, I guess I don't know. And
right.
the struggle of the human mind between over self-criticizing and arrogance is a real deal.
Well, and then what you're describing too is the victim mindset. And then the arrogant mindset is a little step up from the victim mindset. But then the step up from that is the growth mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where, ideally, if we can spend most of our time there,
mm-hmm.
Because we do flip around,
mm-hmm.
And a little higher than the growth mindset, by the way, boom, the manifesting mindset, which I want to spend more time there in 2025.
Me too.
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you out there for listening. We have one more song for you, and then we'll be back in a month. Yes. And let's walk into 2025 with curiosity and self-care and the goal of greater and greater levels of metacognition.
Yeah, and maybe a bit of wonder. Just from the perspective of, how powerful is my mind?
Yeah.
If I can reveal it, can I reveal my mind's power?
And balance that, again, with being present in the body.
That's part of it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We will never know how powerful our minds are if they're overworked.
Yeah.
It just won't work.
Yeah, lots of headaches.
Out of balance then.
Mm-hmm.
So finding balance. Peace and love to everyone.
Yeah, peace and love. Happy New Year.
Receive
consciousness. Go through the dark night. Awaken wisdom. Receive the light. 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 I will to will thy will. 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 Awaken consciousness. Go through the dark night. Awaken wisdom. Receive the light. 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 Jai Ambe Ma, 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 Durge Ma, Jai Ambe Ma, Kali Ma, Jai Ambe Ma, Saraswati Ma, Jai Ambe Ma, Lakshmi Ma. Awaken consciousness. Go through the dark night.